Well, welcome to the amazing location that is Empire State Building. Today we are taking this review from the Empire State Building in Spider-Man 2. I'm obviously joking. This is not. I'm not actually at Empire State Building. This is just from Marvel Spider-Man 2. In today's video, we are reviewing the Incredible Hulk, which released in 2008. If you saw the last review, we reviewed Iron Man, and that was a great cinema. I really enjoyed doing that. So, yeah. Today's going to work basically the same. If you didn't watch that one, basically I'm going to go through the characters, the story, and the action. Because those are the three things I think are the most important in the movie. Unless it's not an action movie. So, yeah, let's start off with the story. So, this story is a bit more, a bit iffy, compared to Iron Man 1. In Iron Man 1 we have a very simple but good story. Here we have a simple but not that great story. So, Bruce Banner, not played by Mark Ruffalo here, I think he's played by Edward Norton. If you know the Hulk story, you would know that he got hit by some gamma radiation and turned into a hulking beast known as the Hulk. And is now on the one for the military because Thunderbolt Ross, the main boss of the military, is not happy with the experiment, aka got hit in the face by the Hulk. So he has ordered the military to go kill Bruce Banner. So the whole movie is just Bruce Banner running from the military. Well, that's the majority of the movie. Until Thunderbolt Ross finds a high military veteran called Emil Blonsky. He fights the Hulk a few times and loses pretty much every single time. Meanwhile, Bruce Banner meets up with his old girlfriend, Betty Ross, who is obviously the daughter of Thunderbolt Ross. They get back together and work together to find this man that Bruce Banner is communicating with behind the scenes called Mr. Blue, who thinks he might have a cure for Hulk. Meanwhile, Emil Blonsky is trying to find a serum that can equal the Hulk. So he tries the serum that Thunderbolt Ross gives him. He fights Hulk again, and he loses again. And by this time, Bruce Banner, Betty have found Mr. Blue's hideout with all his cures. Best cures, and Bruce Banner seems cured. The Hulk seems gone. But in reality, it's actually just a limit. The Hulk is actually not gone. It's just, you know, penetrated. Like it will come back. But it needs to come back as soon as possible because Emil Blonsky has now got the blood of the Hulk and has attacked Mr. Blue, and now has become the Abomination. And while that was happening, Mr. Blue also got some blood of the Hulk and has become the leader, but that doesn't get followed up until 17 years later. And then Bruce Banner realizes that he has transformed into the Hulk again. He transforms into the Hulk versus the Abomination. Hulk wins eventually, and the movie ends with a not so end credit scene. I wouldn't be calling it an end credit scene. It ends with Thunderbolt Ross seeing Tony Stark, and that basically teases that the Hulk will be in the Avengers. Yeah, that's the movie. That's that's the plot. So yeah, the plot is messy. Not a great plot. It's very simple, which is good because if this plot's complicated, I don't think I would enjoy it any more. But yeah, I think it's still it's a very weird plot. It's not one of the best plots of the MCU. It's also not one of the worst. It's just like very messy plot that just tries to fit itself into 2 hours. So yeah, next up, let's get into the characters. Starting off with Edward Norton's Bruce Banner, which I think is a great character. I think Edward Norton, Bruce Banner, does a stellar job and with what he's given. But is basically a shadow for Mark Ruffalo to come in the Avengers movies, even though, well, but it's basically like Don Cheadle. Well, it's basically like the person who plays James Woods in the first Iron Man is a shadow for Don Cheadle to come in as James Woods in Iron Man 2. So yeah, that's basically what Edward Norton is here. Even though I think he got fired or something. I don't know. But yeah, Edward Norton does a stellar job as Bruce Banner, aka Hulk, in this movie. Next up, we have Betty Ross, the daughter of Thunderbolt Ross. She is fine, just fine. She's a fine character. Never really does anything really heroic. She's just fine, and she's just there to be Bruce Banner's love interest, and then never gets to be seen again until Captain America: Brave New World, which we'll get to whenever we get to that. And then we have Thunderbolt Ross, which is good in this movie, and he is the only time that Thunderbolt Ross is important. Besides one other film, these are the only 2 times he's important with this actor. And it's the only time him and the Hulk have any interaction. By the way, they never have any interaction again, so that's great. And then we have Mr. Blue, who gets to just be a thing on the keypad until like an hour left in the movie. And when he shows up, he's fine. He's not amazing. He just serves as, something that is supposed to is supposed to keep the plot going, even though his cure doesn't actually work. So, yeah. And obviously he gets teased to be the leader, which we'll talk about him again once that actually happens. And then finally we have Emil Blonsky, aka the Abomination, who is I think a great villain. I actually really like this villain quite a bit. He's funny. He is able to be convincing as a villain, and even though he's not a villain from the start, you know he's gonna become a villain because he's just tired of getting beaten up by the green beast that is the Hulk. So when he does eventually become the Abomination, you understand why. You understand why he wants to be the Abomination at this point in time. So I think the Abomination is actually a really good villain and kind of saved this movie in a sense. So those are the characters. Now let's get into the final bit of this review, which is the action. Now, there's not a lot of action moments that I want to take into account here, but there's two that I want to take out here. The first one is the military catches up to Bruce just before they meet up with Mr. Blue. And Emil Blonsky gets that first extra dose of serum. I think the action scene is great, and I also think the action is kind of funny, where Emil Blonsky just gets kicked in the face, and then just gets kicked in the face and then done. But that's great. I think that fight scene is just great and funny. Great fight scene. And then obviously the ending scene with Hulk vs Abomination is also really good. I really enjoy that scene. It's long, but it's also not. It's also it's not like annoyingly long. Like it's just long because it should be long. So yeah, those are 2 action scenes that we want to talk about in this movie. There's not any other action scenes that I want to mention. The others are just like leading up to the Hulk vs. Abomination scene. So yeah, and now we get to the bit where I, rank where I give the movie a ranking out of 10 and where I put it on a tier list. So if you remember, I put Iron Man 1 in A tier. And this movie, we'll get to the tier list ranking in a minute, but let's get to the out of 10 ranking. So yeah, I give The Incredible Hulk a 5.5 out of 10. It's okay as a weak story, good, about two maybe three good characters, and about two good action scenes. And some people discount the Marvel movies for the action, so that's not really a good thing. And this movie is also kind of like the black sheep of the MCU, being made by Universal and not Paramount, because every other Marvel movie made up until a point was made by Paramount. Well, kind of by Paramount. So this one made by Universal kind of makes it stand out a bit. So I think this movie is a 5.5 out of 10. It's good. It's fine, but it's not something that will win you over. It's not something that you're hoping to get an explanation for later on. So this movie gets a solid C tier. Not B tier, C tier. And the reason it's going C tier, not B tier, is because I think it's a bit weaker than some movies that we're gonna have in B tier. We're gonna have in B tier. So yeah, that is my review on Incredible Hulk. Yes, I know these streams are short, but I don't want to have to talk about movie for 2. I don't want to talk about movie for 2 hours, and I know boy you don't want that either. So yeah, it's better longer streams soon though. I've got plans for longer streams. So yeah, either tomorrow or Sunday. See you guys then. Bye.